Hi, I'm Natalie and this is a video for APCAM. This is on anxiety in children. This is an enormous topic. We are seeing more and more children struggling with worrying too much and having anxiety, and I'm very aware that this may be even more of a challenge now that children are stuck at home. So for parents, this is a tough one because I think we want to fix things, we want them to be happy, we don't want them worrying, and actually we can feel quite powerless, I think, when our children are worrying so much. The fact is that worrying is normal, and we do need to teach our children that having worries about stuff is part of life. But what we do need to do is help them to strike a balance and understand where the line is between having worries and managing them and worrying too much, which then leads on to having anxiety, which is debilitating. And what we often see in children who are very anxious is different sorts of behaviour that we might not necessarily associate with anxiety. We might see a very angry child, a very irritable child, lots of aggression. Children don't always understand what they're feeling is actually worrying and anxiety, so it can manifest itself in different ways, which is very, very challenging for parents, particularly at the moment. So yes, this is a massive topic, so I am going to break down for you some resources that I think are particularly helpful and ones that you can access now. But please, if you know anything that has worked for you or somebody you know, please share with the APCAM community. This is something that is affecting so many parents that we work with. So if you are happy to share, then please do. Okay, so some books that I want to recommend. One is a story called Ruby's Worry by Tom Percival. It's a really lovely story. It's nice and simple, but it works for a huge amount of kind of age ranges as well. And what I've done in my notes is I've sent a link to a YouTube video of somebody reading the story. So if you haven't got it or can't get it, watch it on YouTube. And then I've added in my notes some questions for you to have a sort of conversation with your child about Ruby and about how Ruby deals with her worries, what her worries look like in comparison with what your child thinks about their worries. So a really lovely book. Another one is, which I haven't got with me, is A Huge Bag of Worries by Virginia Ironside. And again, I sent a link on YouTube of somebody reading that story. And at the end of the video are some lovely questions to then have that chat with your child about it. The third one is a more interactive book. This is called What to Do When You Worry Too Much. I highly recommend this book. It's very interactive. There are lots of bits where your child can draw and write about their worries and how to manage their worries, what worries are, and it just goes through the whole process from understanding worrying and what worries look like to a child to how to manage worries. But again, yeah, really lovely to do with your child and to let them have some reflection time by themselves. So moving on, I've listed here some really useful apps and websites. There's a lot of apps out there on anxiety and other mental health issues, but these ones are recommended by mental health, child mental health services and professionals. So see what you think. There's one called Positive Penguins, which is really lovely for younger children, and that is to help children identify their feelings and learn how to manage their feelings. There's one called Chill Panda, which is all about breathing and relaxation. So a really nice way to get your child to calm down and understand how slow breathing can really reduce those worries and anxieties. There's one called Clear Fear, and that's by the charity STEM4, which is a mental health charity for young people. This one's aimed possibly at slightly older children and maybe teenagers as well, but it's got some very lovely, very clear strategies on managing anxiety and negative thoughts. Then I've put a YouTube link to a video on the flight, fight and freeze response, and that explains the process and the stress responses to children. so they can understand what's going on in their bodies and why we feel the way we do sometimes. And the other one I've put is a link for parents by Young Minds, and it's how to manage your child's anxiety. So some fantastic advice on there for you. Just a couple of other ideas. There's so many strategies and things we can think about, but these two I think are quite simple and effective. One is about creating a worry monster. You can buy these in the works or on Amazon, but you can also make one out of a tissue box, be creative with it. But it gets your child to create a monster, and then they get to write down their worries or their things that are bothering them, even difficult emotions, something they're angry about, and they post it into their worry monster, and the worry monster eats it. And just the process of writing down your worry and then getting rid of it is really effective for children. The other one is introducing your child to the idea of worry time. So in the day, you dedicate perhaps 15 minutes in the day to worrying, and you allow yourself that time, but then it frees up the rest of the day. So you're not allowing your worries to affect you all the day. And I have put a link to that and some guidelines from getselfhelp.co.uk who explain it far more succinctly than I do. So there's just a few things. I've tried to keep it simple. Again, there is a lot out there, but if you do have any questions about these or you'd like to know more, please get in touch with us. And again, if you found anything has worked for you, please share with us too. Thank you very much.